We're back with another episode of Horror Huddle. I'm Stacey Beth. We have Ash here as always.
Howdy.
We are going to be doing a really fun one tonight. I'm super excited about it. We are doing 2015.
It's overdue, but we're finally getting to it.
Deathgasm. All caps, because lowercase is for pussies. So, we're doing that one. It has taken me this long to see it. I'm fucking surprised.
Yeah, and you know what? It took me a while to see it, too.
Yeah.
Because I think it came out in 2015. I just saw it this last summer, and I was like, oh my fucking God, this is a great movie.
Yeah. And Ash kept telling me, you need to watch this, you need to watch this, we need to cover this in Horror Huddle. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch it later. We'll get to it one day. We have so much other stuff we gotta do. And especially with like the holidays and stuff, we're like, okay, we'll get to that next. And yeah, because we haven't recorded in a while. I think if you guys remember, our last video was the Krampus video. So It's been, I think, a little over a month, but I was out of town and everything, so whatever. But
and also, it's Christmas hangover.
I know. And of course, I was out of town for like the last 2 weeks hanging out at my parents' house, so I'm finally home, and I'm like, oh, good, I'm back in my element. Everything's wonderful again. I don't know if you guys can see back here. Probably not, because there's a little bit of a glare, but we don't have the physical copy of the movie because it's on Netflix, but Ash got me and him the Deathgasm soundtrack on vinyl, which is fucking amazing. I heard this before I saw the movie. Because,
well, and I had to ask you, I was like, do you like metal music? And you're like, I fucking love it. And I was like, I'm getting you this fucking album.
I don't know, some of y'all might know, but like my jam is like black metal. So this was right up my alley. I kind of expected it to be one of those like, oh, they're going to act like they know metal, but they don't really know. This guy knows his metal, the director. Speaking of, the director is Jason Lee Howden, who's mostly known for his visual effects work in The Hobbit, The Avengers, I think The Great Gatsby and stuff. So I don't know what else he's directed.
It was written and directed by him, and if I'm not mistaken, this is his directorial debut.
Okay, yeah, that's probably why, because when I went to IMDb and looked his name up, the main thing it showed was his visual effects work. So I was like, all right, I mean, if this was his first...
Which, honestly, the movie, you can tell he knows about visual effects.
Yes, absolutely. It's a comedy horror out of New Zealand, and you guys know that New Zealand makes some pretty good horror comedies, and this is definitely at the top. Main plot, kind of basic IMDb plot, is two teens unwittingly unleash this like ancient evil entity.
Yeah, Brody and Zach.
Yes, Brody and Zach.
And Brody is played by Milo Cawthorne, I believe his name is, and he starred in another kind of horror comedy, Blood Punch. From a year before, I think it was 2014.
Yeah.
Good movie, check it out.
I haven't watched it, so I'm not I have no idea about that. But so they basically unleash this ancient evil entity demon thing called the Blind One to after they like delved into black magic to kind of like excite their boring lives, because they live in this kind of shitty New Zealand town where nothing really happens. And
very like kind of Protestant, like New Zealand town, very religious, very kind of straight-laced.
Yeah.
So, when you're into metal and just heavy metal, the whole lifestyle, your life kind of sucks.
And we meet Brody in the beginning of the movie, and you can talk about that.
Basically he has now had to move to this very small rural town in the middle of nowhere,
kind of like suburbia,
to live with his aunt and uncle, because his mother is now in an insane asylum because she tried to suck off a mall Santa in a crowded mall while on drugs.
That was in the first several minutes, and
in the mugshot they show of the mom is fucking hilarious.
Yes, I was like, okay, I'm in. This movie has like my right kind of humor already, right off the bat. Yeah. And we end up meeting, and so he's kind of this. Like he said, he's living with his aunt and uncle, right? Yep. And their son, who's this kind of jock asshole kid who bullies everyone. Yeah,
rugby player, that kind of
He's a fucking dickhead. And Brody meets a nerd there at school and befriends him and his other nerd friend. I don't remember their names. Giles?
Giles, yeah.
Dion and Giles. They're nerds, like role-playing games kind of nerds and stuff, which is no offense to anybody who does. That's fine. I know a lot of people who do, but they were supposed to be the nerds. And he goes to the local record shop and meets Zach.
Which is, it seems like that's his only kind of solace. It's like one heavy metal record shop in town. He's like, yes, this is my church right here.
Yeah, and he meets Zach, who's the heavy metal, like, you can tell he's the bad boy, played by James Blake. And his IMDb didn't even have a picture of him, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was like his first and maybe only kind of acting gig. I'm not too sure. I didn't look into him. But I loved it because when they introduced Zach's character, they said that he was kicked out of school for stabbing someone because he stepped on, some kid stepped on his King Diamond tape. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, and he wasn't sure whether he stabbed him with a protractor or something else.
Something else, yeah. But he stabbed the kid at school for stepping on his King Diamond tape. And I was like, that's golden. I'm so in. This movie just gets it. So yeah, anyways, I guess like and
they form a bond, basically. You know, they start becoming friends, start making homemade napalm, and, you know, writing shit on the rugby field, which is supposed to be Hail Satan.
Yeah,
but it turns out to be Hail Satin.
See, I didn't catch that when I watched it. I
had to do a double take when I first saw it. I was like, Hail Satan, and then I saw the I and I was like, wait.
Yeah.
I had to wind up pause, and I was like, Satin. That's Satin.
Yeah.
Satin.
I plan on watching it again, so I'll look out for that. I did not catch it the first time, though. But they pretty much, we find out that someone named Aeon is looking for the Black Hymn, which Zach and Brody now have. It's like these papers, and it's supposed to release, like, it's got musical notes on it and stuff, and it's supposed to release the blind one. And they don't know it because they just started a band with the two nerds.
Well, which I love them going through the names of possible band names, because they just go back and forth. They're like, what about Murder Boner, Tooth Vagina, Maggot Sperm, Cannibal Unicorn? What about it? But like extended. And then Zach's like, fuck it, we're Deathgasm. And he's like, well, what about? And he's like,
and
no,
he turns the camera back to him.
All caps. Because, you know,
lowercase is for pussies. Yes. It's so good. So, yeah, they end up unleashing this demon, and everybody starts turning into these kind of like Evil Dead zombies and stuff.
You can tell, definitely inspired by Evil Dead. It is definitely
heavily inspired by Evil Dead. You can tell. But it's cool. Like, I kind of, can't get into that real quick just yet, though. We find out that Brody likes a girl who's this kind of like straight-laced, white, pretty blonde chick named Medina, and she's like immediately like taken with him.
She's the girlfriend of his cousin.
Yeah,
Dick.
And she's like taken with him already. She likes him, and she just like, you can tell she genuinely likes him, and she's a nice girl and stuff. And so I loved the scene. There's a scene when he's sitting with her because she invites him out for ice cream, and he's like,
yes, the awkward ice cream scene,
full on corpse paint. I'm sure you guys, if you haven't seen it, you've probably seen it in like, you know, the main screen stills and stuff like that. Corpse paint and stuff, sitting down on a bench eating ice cream, and she's just talking to him about, or he's talking about metal. I don't really remember exactly, but it was cool because the way that he was explaining why he loves metal so much, and how, you know, when you're feeling alone and dark and depressed, you listen to that and you feel like they know what you're going through. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly why I love it. You know what I mean? Not just because it's dark and new Satan, you know, but it's like, no, you like, there's
and then he like hands her some like a whole like kind of stack of CDs. Mm-hmm. It's like, here, just listen to these, and she starts looking at the covers, and
anal cunt.
And of course, it's a heavy metal cover or death metal and stuff like that. So of course the cover it's going to be a little graphic. So you just see her looking there, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah.
Very nice. And also, it was just such a cute scene because there's her all prim and proper on this, like, and it's a well lit. It's like in the middle of summer. It looks like green fields, really high light. She's sitting there looking all cute. He's in like
he's just sitting there with an ice cream cone,
dark thing, and he's sitting there kind of like all like prim and proper while still having this black makeup on his face, and he's licking the ice cream cone.
Yeah. Oh my god,
it's so kind of cute scene.
No, it was, and I really liked it, and And like when she finally listens to the metal album and she goes into this like almost daydream and she's standing on the top of a mountain with a battle axe and with all these.
Yeah, and it's basically the female version of a scene earlier where he's not playing. He's in the same room with his friends who are playing D&D because they think it's a kick-ass time. And he's just listening to his music and he gets the same vision of his head on a mountain playing a guitar, women with topless, and he's like, ha.
And I'm like, that's what it's like when you listen to metal. It absolutely is.
Yeah, and I literally put that in the notes. I'm like, so I'm not the only one that has those kind of visions.
Yeah, right? We're all good. It's not just us. We're okay. But the gore in the movie.
Once the gore starts, oh, God.
It's great. Yeah.
It's
From
so good.
The first moment you see a guy get his throat slit, and it's just like blood.
Yeah, you can see the trachea tube and everything. It's like
there's a decapitation scene, which is also really funny.
That's fucking hilarious.
And there were a bunch of other gory scenes. There was a dildo anal bead fight scene. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Chainsaw. Let's see. Person gets chainsaw to the gut. Another one gets battle axed right through the head, like cleaved almost in two.
Yeah.
What was it? It was a weed whacker with barbed wire to the.
Oh, dude! And that guy had a big dick. Like I know it was fake, but I was like, oh my goodness! Like they showed that fucking giant dick full on, and I was so shocked. Like I did not expect that at all. And
while the gore is over the top, it also has moments like when it had the chainsaw part. You see her intestines dropping to the ground. And her kind of stumbling over them. Those intestines look real.
Yeah.
They look grody. They look real.
There were a lot of scenes where everything was a little over the top, and then you had some that you're like, "Damn, that's good!" Like,
and then a mix of both, so it's like uncomfortable, funny at the same time.
Yeah, oh, gosh,
it's great.
So good. I did see on IMDb a funny little bit of trivia. I don't know how true this is, but they said that if you play Deathgasm muted and then you play Iron Maiden's Alive After Death, it supposedly syncs up. Because with like the precise editing and stuff, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna have to try that." Like,
yeah, fuck Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, right.
Watch this instead.
And then Iron Maiden. Fuck yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was like not intentional. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was intentional, just because I read that the director was like inspired to write this because of like his time as a teenager and getting bullied and being super into metal. So there was some definite like. There was some, I guess, truth behind the movie in a sense. Like, it wasn't like, I'm just gonna make a movie about metal kids. There was, he took some parts of him and put it into there. Which I thought was really cool, which kind of put me into saying that I feel like the movie had some heart, or had a lot of heart.
It did, because even like later on in the movie, there's a scene where like Brody gets like ambushed by his cousin and the cousin's friend. They beat the shit out of him. He goes back home, his room's trashed, and it's like, you feel bad for this kid. At that point, I'm like, you know what? Even though this is a horror comedy, they do, at least with most of the characters, give them just enough, if not more, to make you care for them.
Yeah. And
which I'm glad.
The moments, the heartfelt moments are heartfelt, but they're not like sappy, and they don't take you out of it.
Yeah, they don't feel forced.
You're not like, okay, come on, hurry up, give me the good stuff. This is still the good stuff. You want to get those little breaks in between the fucking action, because it's kind of just it goes.
Yeah, because once you hit probably about halfway, maybe 2/3 the way through the film, it's from there on in, it's basically nonstop, like fighting gore.
Yeah, and you and I talked about it earlier that like this was definitely a combo of Evil Dead and Dead Alive. Like, I mean,
with a smidge of Hot Fuzz.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I didn't think about that, but yeah, definitely.
Because all the little flashbacks of things happening, I'm like, hey, kind of like Hot Fuzz. Okay, nice.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, it was just tons of blood and guts and gore and heart, and it's like you kind of didn't expect it to be as good as it is. Like, I really did not expect this movie to be that good. Like, it ended, and
honestly, I didn't either when it came out on iTunes, and when I watched it, I was like, it might be okay. And then I was like, this is actually, for a horror comedy, very fucking good.
And I like immediately.
I mean, it's definitely, I don't know. Would I say it's in my top 10? Yeah. Top 5? Probably. Almost definitely.
Like all time?
Yeah, horror comedies.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I can see it in my top 5.
I texted Ash right after, I was about to text Ash with 15 minutes left in the movie and be like, I fucking love it. I was like, no, Stacey, wait.
Well, yeah, but you guys don't understand. I've been wanting to do this movie for a while. I've been wanting to see it because once I saw it, I was like, Stacey, you have to fucking see it. And she's like,
I'll get to it.
I got it on my list. I'll eventually get to it. And it's been a few months of that. I was like, oh God, I can't wait for her to fucking see it because she's going to fucking love it.
Yeah, and I knew that everybody else I talked to loved it as well. And so I was like, I know I'm going to like it, but I kept putting it off, and finally, as soon as it ended, I waited till the credits rolled till the end, and then I was like, oh, okay. Ash, holy shit, I fucking love it. And he's like, haha, I knew you would, I told you. And I'm like, dude, I'm so excited to record tonight. I can't wait. This is going to be so fun. It's rare, you guys know, for me and Ash to both genuinely love a movie together.
To the same degree.
And have the same kind of gripes and the same parts that we love, and there's not a point that you and I even disagreed on.
Yeah,
Really?
well, there are, and there might be, only because there are a few things in the film, I will say, either it was intentional, which I give it a pass, like the final demon, the king demon. His makeup, the little head they put on him, looked a little bit hokey, but maybe
you and I were both.
Maybe they put it in there to look hokey just so people can fucking laugh at it.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing was the cult. I thought was something that didn't necessarily have to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Because the exposition they gave could have been given by another character and just cut them out completely. Because honestly, those characters out of all the movie were the ones that really had no depth or really you cared for at all. They were just kind of there.
We could have done without, and the movie wouldn't have suffered if we didn't have those. Yeah,
it would have went just as fine, if not better.
Yeah,
so
you still could have had
the only small thing I could really see.
It's you still.
That I would have changed that.
You still could have had that angle without those characters. Yeah. They were kind of
again. That's me nitpicking a film. So once I have to get to the point where I'm nitpicking, it's sometimes it's a fucking good movie.
Yeah, because sometimes we feel like we need to have one complaint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just so that we're being fair and balanced. Well, sorry, that's a Fox News thing, and they're not that. But to be at least, honest with our reviews, because we don't want to be gushing over movies where people will be like, well, I saw it and I thought it was kind of shit.
But it's but I mean, it makes sense that we're gushing because so did everybody else. I mean, we're not alone in this, This is no.
I mean, it's not Shakespeare or anything, but for what it is,
we're not saying we love Spirit in the Woods or anything.
It's a fucking enjoyable movie through and through.
I was saying we're not saying we love Spirit in the Woods or anything. Gotta throw that in there.
That movie was entertaining.
Gotta throw that in there every once in a while. Yeah. Also, you gotta, if you watch it and you haven't yet, I don't know why you're. Well, no, actually, haven't even given spoilers away at all. I'm surprised.
Not really.
No, not at all. Cool. Okay. Anyway, so if you guys are watching and you haven't watched the movie yet, stick around for the post credits because there's, of course, a post credit scene. I was expecting that anyways, and they did leave it open for a sequel, which they did reveal at the end of 2015. They revealed that there was a sequel in production that was going to be called Gormageddon, and I was like, oh, I haven't heard anything since about it, and I went and Googled it, and apparently, I guess the director, I think it's the same guy, had posted a picture on his Instagram, maybe around March of 2016, and a picture of the script, and said the script is already done and everything. So I don't know when we're going to get one. I didn't hear any other news about it since. Maybe
I don't know when we're going to get it, if we're going to get it. Honestly,
no, I think we are.
It's nothing against the movie if I want one, because this movie works perfectly well as its own standalone thing without having sequels.
Yep. I think it'd be great.
If they have a sequel, then great. I'll definitely see it. But if they don't, I'm not going to be devastated because we've got one really damn good movie. That's all I care about.
Yeah. And even the way that they ended it in post credits, I still don't mind that, if they don't ever have a sequel. It's like, okay, it still ended perfectly well, even though they left it kind of open for one. It's still kind of like, okay, it's great. I love it. Funny, I saw that when it came out on DVD, that Walmart had refused to sell it under the name of Deathgasm. They had it Heavy Metal Apocalypse on the title. And I was like,
well, didn't they do that same thing? I know, some movie theaters do it. Hellboy.
Really?
Yeah, I know the local theater.
What they have it as Heck Boy?
Heck Boy.
No, you're fucking lying.
I shit you not. I was like, really? Is that even legal to do that?
Heck Boy. That sounds like a terrible parody, like Heck Boy.
And I know Walmart's done that in the past for other films. It's like if the film's title could be possibly offensive, they'll change it. Like, didn't they do that for Bloodsucking Bastards?
I don't know.
I heard something about that.
I don't know. That I don't know. I can't tell you that. But yeah, this one I thought was hilarious. I was like, I'd like to own a Heavy Metal Apocalypse copy also, just to have that, because fucking Walmart's ridiculous. But anyways, final thoughts?
Final thoughts, as we said before, if you like Evil Dead or Dead Alive, you'll love this movie. Main actors, pretty much all of them, I loved their roles. I loved the actors that did it. Special effects, fucking
great,
awesome.
yeah.
I mean, if you love gore, you'll love it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the music. Again, we both have the album.
Get that
it's
shit.
It's not just a cash-in kind of, we're just going to put these just generic bands in. It's like literally...
It's
just
fucking,
an ode to all metalheads.
It's
like,
fucking metal.
You want this album.
It's fucking metal. And you know what sucks is I don't know why, I should have looked up the artists on the album. I didn't, but
here we go. Let's see. We've got Axeslayer, Beast Wars, Bullet Belt, Midnight, Skull Fist. Let's see, 8 Foot Sativa, Emperor, Razor Wire, and it goes on and on. I mean, it's literally just, it's a great album.
It's awesome. It's seriously, it's so badass. It's not like a score. You're not going to get just some sounds and stuff. It's like, it's fucking metal. It's amazing. It's so fucking good.
Okay, so what would your final score be out of 10?
Out of 10? Fuck, man. I'm going to give it an 8.
You know what? I'm on the same page. 8 out of 10. It's not a perfect movie.
No.
But it's for a horror.
But it's pretty damn close.
Right up there, yeah.
Pretty damn close. For being a horror comedy, that's a good score, you know.
The album and the movie are both worth buying.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, I think that about wraps it up for Deathgasm. All caps, because lowercase is for pussies. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.